Okay, so we continue on to our second preview here, guys. The Texans and the Packers. We called it the Farrington Bowl because these are our biggest fan bases. Somehow, we wound up.
Can we get a little round of applause for Texans fans?
Texans fans, yeah. Texans fans have been great. We really appreciate them.
5-1, those Texans. 5-1.
5-1. Texans fans think we don't like them, and we said, guys, we were on you pretty early last season. I root for the Texans every single week because of the support that we got.
Didn't we run a video like week 6? Could Texans win the division?
I think we did.
I drafted Stroud and Mixon in fantasy because of the support these Texans fans give us. You know, it's seriously why I drafted them.
Yeah. So we like the Texans, and
we really like the Texans this week.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're really rooting for them this week.
The Wendy's in the Houston airport is fantastic. Fantastic.
And they have a chance to take on the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field, who had their best game of the season, most complete game of the year for Green Bay. They've kind of had flashes of excellence on both sides of the football so far. But this was the first game where you watch it start to finish, and it was like, okay, Jordan Love looks healthy. The defense looks healthy. They were getting after Kyler Murray. All of a sudden, this Packers defensive line that couldn't get any pressure. 9 pressures, right? 9 pressures.
Yeah, 9 pressures.
There was one play in particular. I don't know if anyone remembers it off the top of their head, but Rashawn Gary.
He's been a nobody all season.
He just looked like his head was on fire on one play. It's like, all right, if he's playing like that, this could be a problem. But Houston comes into Green Bay 5-1, 4-2. Houston feels pretty comfortable with where they're at. I mean, their division, is anyone really scared of the Colts, who are getting Richardson back, the Titans, Jaguars? Like, Houston's fine. But Green Bay has a lot of pressure to keep winning because as the NFC North continues its onslaught of the NFL, you have to keep up with the Joneses, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're a Packers fan, you want the Vikings to win this weekend and just hope that they collapse down the stretch. But no matter which team wins, you're not feeling very good about it.
First division ever through 6 weeks to have every team with 4 or more wins.
Yeah, I mean, this game for Green Bay, knowing that one of those two teams, whether it be Minnesota or Detroit, is going to win, this almost feels like it's a must-win game on your home field.
The division, it's for the division itself, it's starting to, the arms race, it's really exciting as an NFC North fan, even though you could sit back and go, like, woe is me, why is it the year that the Bears, the Packers, insert NFC North team is good, the rest of the division's playing
I mean, you
great.
can't ask why is it the year the Packers are good.
Who also says woe is me anymore?
I don't know. I mean,
who says that?
That's a common saying. Woe is me. It's a common saying.
Have you never heard?
No, I have. I thought that was like an old, like...
It is an old saying.
I mean, you're the only person I've heard say that in the last like 20 years.
20 years? 20 years is your entire life, bro.
No, I'm 26. I think I heard somebody say when I was like 6 or 7, but I mean, it's...
All right, so anyway, you could have any
me?
NFC, you insert an NFC North team, and they could say, damn, we're unlucky that that the rest of the division is good during our good season. But that's where we are this year with the NFC North. So you have to kind of keep winning. And that's why I do think that the Packers, you know, for the division as far as it goes, I need to win this game here. Because who knows how far the Lions, I really think the Lions can continue. Their schedule's not that bad.
Yeah, but hey, guess what? The Packers are all healthy. So if you were looking for an angle where there's a must-win game against a big opponent, you know, Wicks is injured. He may or may not play this week. I don't think we've got clarity on that yet, but that's not the biggest loss in the world. Watson's back. The defense is fully healthy. Jordan Love, I think, should really be in the zone now. Like, this team's healthy. They're ready to play, and they get to do it at home.
I was at there's a really cool store around here called Buddy Sports Corner that sells autographed jerseys. You can see the jersey behind us, everything. This is turning into a promo for Buddies. But it's really cool.
Buddies, if you want to sponsor us.
Hey, come on, Buddies.
That'd be great. I mean, we have a ton of his stuff here.
Be our buddy, Buddies.
But it was, I saw a Jordan Love jersey Jordan Love picture hanging up, and I was like, that could fit the studio. And I was like, no. Well, I mean, the dude like supports our channel like crazy.
No, Jordan Love does not support our channel. Tell you, if Jordan Love wants to come on, we'll put a signed Jordan Love whatever up here.
Oh, we'd put multiple signed Jordan Love whatevers up here if you decided to come on.
That'd be pretty cool. So, all right, let's talk about the game itself, though. We'll go to Ziggy first because, Ziggy's more numbers, Jack is more fields. I'm kind of somewhere in between. Ziggy, when we talk about Houston attacking Green Bay, where do you think the advantages are for the Texans offense?
I think there's an easy answer here. And we saw what a difference it made last week. Joseph Tyler Mixon is back. And
wait, hold on. Before you continue this, I do want to point out you hated on Joe Mixon so hard this offseason.
Yeah, I did. He looked terrible in Cincinnati last year. He looked completely washed up. I thought there's no way going to a new team is going to revitalize his career. Sometimes I'm right. Sometimes I'm wrong.
This guy.
In this case, I was wrong.
Hey, he admits it.
But it's, I mean, you've seen the difference for this team when Joe Mixon is in, right? I mean, he's played, 3 games this year, and 2 have gone over 100 yards. He dominated the Patriots. He dominated the Colts. And CJ Stroud is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL against play action. I think he's 7th in the NFL in quarterback rating on play action. And for a Packers defensive line that's trying to get going, that just had a great week against Kyler Murray, if you can get Joe Mixon going and set up the play action, slow them down a little bit. We saw last week, Tank Dell, when he gets opportunities, is he the best receiver in the NFL? No, but he's a solid number 2. Stefon Diggs, obviously a great receiver. There are plenty of good guys to get the ball to who can attack that Packers defense, particularly, I'm sorry to say, Eric Stokes. I mean, Packers fans come in the comments. You can let me know if Eric Stokes is the weak point or not. I think we all know.
Stokes, he's just out here catching these strays.
No, that's not a stray. That's a direct shot. But all I'm saying is just if you can get Joe Mixon the play action going, I think that's going to be really hard for Jeff Hafley and the aggressive Packers defense to deal with. So that's my number 1 priority. If I'm the Texans this week, get Joe Mixon going.
And, the Texans, Jack was so kind to share with us before the show started. He said, the Texans are 7th in sacks this year and 9th in the most pressures in the NFL this season. So as they are coming after CJ Stroud, this Packers rush has all of a sudden kind of picked up.
After Jordan Love.
I'm sorry?
After Jordan Love.
Wait, what?
Coming after Jordan.
Oh, Jordan Love. Yeah, I'm sorry. The Texans defense is 7th in sacks and 9th in pressures. So yes, as they go after Jordan Love, they're going to... No, the offense.
What are you guys talking about?
The offense. I'm going to scrap that. No. The Texans allow the 7th most sacks and 9th most pressures.
Oh, I thought you were going with the Love.
No, this was your stat.
No, my stat was the Texans defense.
Oh, that's on me. All right, let me read that again.
I think we roll with that. That's great.
Yeah, no, this is what happens. Jack brings in a stat for the first time in his life, and Paul can't do it right.
Yeah, my stat was the Texans D. You know that, right?
No, you did nothing wrong, Jack.
Yeah,
Paul was just so shocked that Jack was actually giving useful information.
But then I heard 7th and 9th. I'm like, no, it was 4th and 10th.
Oh, my bad. That's on me.
It's a
the Texans
disaster.
allow the 7th most sacks and the 9th most pressures. So as the Packer defense is getting after CJ Stroud, that is a spot where he's going to have to be very good, and he is always excellent. So if you're able to establish Joe Mixon, maybe take a little bit more pressure off of Stroud if you're able to get him out and play action, like you said, and look for those elite receivers. And luckily for Houston, despite having Nico Collins out, you said they have a bunch of guys that can still be a threat. Dalton Schultz, sorry about that drop touchdown. Would have won Ziegler Zag.
It's one of the worst beats.
Okay, so let's continue on here. And something we should mention about the Texans defense, switching to the other side of things here, Mario Edwards, suspended for 4 games, substance abuse. But they do get back to Nico Audrey, who, despite being 34 years old, I was kind of surprised he was that old, is just amazing. He's
coming off an 11.5 sack season.
He's so good at football that this is just another guy on the Texans defense who, as Jack said, the Texans are 4th in the NFL in sack rate and 10th in highest pressure rate.
Can we get a round of applause for Paul reading the stat correctly?
I can read.
I think that's the first stat I've ever provided for the show.
Yes. So I'm going to immediately...
Also, read Jordan Love's QB percentage under
Would you
duress.
like to read it here, Jack? This is your stat here.
I mean, I feel weird reading a stat. I really read a stat.
Go ahead,
before.
Jack. Go ahead.
As we're talking about how the Packer offense versus the Houston defense, these are some numbers to pay attention to. Go ahead, Jordan.
We just brought up the pressure rate Houston provides. 4th in...
They can get after the quarterback.
4th in sacks, 10th in pressure rate. And Jordan Love, his QBR versus pressure, 61.9%. His completion percentage, 40.9%. Now get this. With a clean pocket, his completion percentage is 66.7%. And his QBR is 107. So a huge difference, Paul and Ziggy, when Jordan Love is operating with a clear pocket versus pressure. And Texans, top 10 in the league, at providing pressure.
So you got to keep them clean. That's what we're saying.
Oh, I feel weird.
Yeah.
I feel weird throwing out numbers. I feel like
it's
Ziggy.
important to remember there is a difference between pressure and blitz. Like Ziggy was saying, pressure is actually getting pressure on the quarterback, not just sending more guys after him.
Yeah, Jordan Love has been decent against the blitz.
Yeah, and because a lot of Packers fans are very quick to tell us, hey, Jordan Love's awesome against the blitz.
And he
But
is.
Pressure, he is. But
pressure, what's the difference?
Different thing here. So I'll go back over to Ziggy now, since we got Jack with stats is crazy. Ziggy, when we talk about the Packers attacking the Texans now, how are you looking to help Jordan Love out if they're going to pressure him? Like quick passes? Who are we looking at?
Here's my game plan if I'm Matt LaFleur. Get Jaden Reed the ball at any cost.
Not a bad game plan.
I mean, here's what it is. The Texans, they run a zone-heavy scheme. I know they can play man sometimes, but all their top corners are playing zone a majority of the time. Jaden Reed, number 1 in the NFL in passing yards against zone. Mm-hmm. And he can further punish you on zone. If you want to play man, you can play man, but then it's all those crazy motion plays, right? Him getting the ball out of the backfield off a jet sweep or just moving him to the other side of the field. Like Jaden Reed is broken out as the weapon for this team. I know there are other guys around him and they're all good, but he's clearly, I think, the most important guy on the Packers offense. If you have a guy who can cut up zone, who's a threat against man, that makes Jordan Love's job so much easier. And I'm not saying Jordan Love needs like a crutch, but I mean, we've seen it in New York, right? If you're running an offense without those tools, it's very hard to compete. But if you add those tools, you can make a good quarterback great.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen a lot of that from Jordan Love.
And this is where, them being healthy really comes into play here, because now you can't just focus in on Jaden Reed. That's when Romeo Doubs hurts you. Watson hurts you. We'll see about Wicks.
The Packers, too, seem to always have these types of games in their home building.
Oh, you think
right?
so?
I feel like they're never really on the road to right? Doesn't it?
Recently, it has been in their home building. I think KC last year was a big one at home. They had the big Bears game to get into the playoffs at home.
Yeah.
Although we did see what they did to Dallas on the road in the playoffs.
I like Green Bay in this spot.
Okay, so you like Green Bay in this game. Ziggy, how about you? If we're looking at early predictions, we're going to touch on this again later on in the week, but early thoughts here. Packers, Texans.
See, we got spotted cows right here. You can't pick a Texans.
We're not Texans. We're not Packers fans.
Yes, we are.
Well, Paul.
Yes, we are.
You know that college basketball's back?
Dude, that's his realm.
That's my neck.
Yeah, college basketball's back. And I've got a conference next week, actually. I'm traveling to a St. Louis University to give a talk on Francisco Suarez on final causation. Yeah, really.
Oh, wait, shout yourself out real quick.
The Billikens.
I'm giving the talk. But, no, the Billikens, seriously.
The Billikens, baby.
You know who led?
You shout yourself out, and Ziggy goes, I'm giving a talk.
Do you know who led the Billikens in steals last year?
Jordair Jet.
No.
What was that, like 20?
Proceed.
15?
Good hustle. No, it was Larry Hughes II.
Okay.
Great player for them. He started almost all their games. Yep. And Larry Hughes II. You know what that second means?
Give it to me.
It means that he's got a father named Larry Hughes.
Good guy.
So Larry Hughes, he's Larry Hughes' son. Hughes' son. That's a sign. The Houston Texans are going to win this game.
Houston, I love it.
See, if Jack's going to give a stat, I got to give a story.
We got a Ziggy cap on air. We got the Ziggy cap.
So yeah, give me the Texans. I think they've got this. It's easy to get intimidated by Lambo or whatever.
Dumb.
CJ, you don't treat Jack like this. Why are you treating me like this?
No, I mean just this entire thing. So we got you saying that.
Jack throwing stats and Ziggy giving caps. I mean, this is an all-time show.
Yeah, so honestly, I mean, in all seriousness, I love CJ Stroud. I really like this Texans team. And maybe there's a little bit of bias that's telling me that the Texans can go in and win this. But honestly, they're 5-1. They're coming off a great win. I believe in this team.
I don't think anyone would get on you for saying the Texans can win.
Go look at the comments right now. Yeah. Everybody's on me for saying the
comments
Texans can win.
Wait, would you guys rather have CJ Stroud or Jordan Love for the remainder of the season?
Probably Stroud.
Stroud,
right? No, I'm just saying we asked it last year. I just want to see if we're still. I'm assuming we're on the same spot.
Stroud.
Producer Zach, can we ask you a question?
Yeah.
Like producer Zach in the corner. Zach in the corner is just not even
Zach
like
just taking a nap over here.
Not even like looking at the camera. Okay, so you're on Houston, Ziggy. You're on the Packers.
I'm on Green Bay by a field goal.
Wait, didn't you just have a question for me? What happened?
You didn't ask his question.
No.
Hey, Zach, have you tried talking into the microphone?
The funny thing is Zach is
I
in the
literally
corner
have the mic up to
down.
my mouth.
I guess he does have the mic on his mouth. I didn't see that. I just see his feet up in the air.
What are the chances? I guess I should put this show pretty high, but like we're doing a Packers Texans preview, and then we talk about St. Louis Pelican basketball for a bit.
Had to be.
That's probably pretty high.
Had to be over plus 100,000 for certain.
No, that Ziggy's the one talking about Pelican basketball.
Ziggy's talking about it.
Like you're rich if you bet on that.
Yeah,
you're rich.
Yeah.
So okay, Houston, Green Bay, 1-1. I'm leaning Green Bay in this one. I think that if it were in Houston, I think home field advantage is the difference to me. And Green Bay, they got great home field advantage, and this offense is clicking.
They've got maybe the third best home field advantage in the NFC North.
Hey, dude, it's a division of great home field advantages.
I just watched a movie called Click. You said offense Green Bay is clicking.
No. We've done this.
I got to counter Ziggy and go with the Packers.
So 2-1 right now, and we're gonna have more coming out on this later in the week. But the initial feelings, I think it'll be a great game, a lot of fun. It's awesome to see two young quarterbacks like this go head to head, and this is their first matchup, right, against each other. Yeah. Who knows how many times they'll meet over the next coming seasons, but I can't wait to watch it. I'm very excited, even though I don't root for the Packers. I am very excited to watch Jordan Love play CJ Stroud.
You know what I also could see? I could see a world where Stroud lights the world on fire and Love struggles. And then after the game, Stroud approaches Love. He's like, dude, like, I played in the Power 5, you bum. Like, where did you little sissy boy go to school? Utah State, you don't belong here. And Stroud walks off the field taking his
We're going to go live before these 1
ring.
o'clock games, right?
We might. It's a big week. I also think, though, I can see it the other way. I can see it both ways. Like, I can see either quarterback lighting the world on fire.
I could too.
And that's what's cool for these two fan bases, that you have quarterbacks who could do that on a consistent basis.